Do short theme song intro.
Today. Here's the moment that led to Skelly's arrest.
Go, Adam, go!
Pushing past police, he broke into the restaurant and damaged the locks.
Let's go, Adam! Let's go! Let's go!
At this point, officers could take him in for trespassing.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
After the owner of Adamson Barbecue was taken away, the crowd grew even larger. Supporters with anti-mask and anti-lockdown sentiments yelling absurdities like the pandemic isn't real.
The media is lying to you!
On a stage set up with loudspeakers in the parking lot, a far cry from simply supporting a small business.
For many churchgoers, this was an answer to prayer. For the first time in 3 months, Sunday services in Ontario were open to in-person parishioners.
We are so happy to be back.
Ontario's premier gave his blessing last week for places of worship to reopen. Crowds returned for Friday prayers at the mosque, Shabbat at the synagogue, and Sunday Mass at church.
Given all the stresses, all the challenges people are facing medically, psychologically, spiritually, I think now more than ever, people need the opportunity to come back to church.
On reopening holy places, provinces have taken different approaches. In Quebec, churches remain closed, while in BC and Alberta, gatherings must be limited to 50 people. Ontario's restrictions are more lenient. Attendance numbers must be capped at 30% capacity. This Toronto church seats 3,000, which means they're welcoming up to 850 people.
We are asking people to keep their social gatherings as small as possible as to immediate family. But as the Premier said, there are a number of people who do live alone, who are experiencing isolation. We want them to be able to have a connection to another group for mental health and social purposes. So we're just asking people to be reasonable. Please try to keep your gatherings small to immediate households as much as possible.
I think everybody has to think carefully about where they're going to and what they're doing, and assess the potential risk, assess the potential chance for transmission. What we're hearing is that contacts, when a positive case has occurred, are having upwards of 25 contacts that they've exposed themselves to. That's a tremendous number. That's way more than very careful and considered intersection with others. So I need to think about what risk may be presented when you go to that setting. If you go to that setting, taking all of the precautions that are necessary to prevent any potential form of transmission.
I'm going to reveal something about myself I don't like to advertise, but it's relevant to the news bites I'm about to speak to, so I will say it. This past week was my birthday, and for the first time in 15 years, I didn't go to a movie for it. I'm not keen to reveal my birthday because I don't like it, and people wishing me a happy birthday makes me grind my teeth. If you must say something, birthday acknowledgements is perfectly fine. One of the ways I cope with my birthday is by going to a movie. Sitting in a theater and watching the big screen with big sound, eating big popcorn, it takes me out of this world for a couple of hours I spend there. Movies are a way I escape from this reality, and there is no better place for that than in the theater. I'm actually coming close to a whole year without going to a movie, something I could have never imagined 8 months ago. But you know what? Despite how disappointing it is not going, despite missing out on my escape from this world, despite all the scene points I have saved up for free movies, I'm okay with it. This is a tiny sacrifice to make in the face of a pandemic. People who have a hard time putting things like this into perspective need to take a look inward and figure out what is so wrong in their life that missing out on a meaningless luxury feels like their freedom is being taken away and that it's worth the risk of spreading COVID. If I don't go get to see a movie, my life doesn't change. If I get or spread COVID, well, I come from a place where I've lost everything, and I realized there is very little in this world you can't go without. Going to a movie, eating at a restaurant, buying a gift for a loved one, these are all luxuries, and while they add to the enjoyment of life, they are not needed for you to live. Versus a virus that may take away your life, the life of a loved one, or have lasting detrimental health effects. You can't enjoy the luxuries if you're dead. So why are so many people upset with the restrictions? Probably because the overall quality of life has deteriorated for so many people. These luxuries are needed as a distraction and ways to cope. If people were living a secure, happy life, they would be able to handle missing out on the extras. And for some people, it's not about the extras, it's about survival. At the opening, I showed a clip of the barbecue restaurant guy. Well, that guy is a prick, and he's probably doing this for all the wrong reasons. What he represents for other people is real. Many small businesses are suffering, and the provincial government is doing nothing to help them. Small businesses in Toronto and Peel region say it's not fair that they should be closed for in-person shopping while big box stores can sell all manners of goods, from clothing to books to tech gadgets, if they happen to also sell essential products such as groceries. Retailers considered non-essential in Ontario's COVID-19 hotspots were forced to shut their doors Monday to comply with public health directives, just as the already beleaguered sector enters the holiday season, its most critical period of sales. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says it's not right that these small shops should be limited to curbside pickup and online sales, while retail giants are free to soak up their lost revenue. Doug Ford has unfortunately signed the death warrant of thousands and thousands of businesses, said Dan Kelly, CFIB's president and CEO. The organization is calling on Ontario government to adjust the rules so that small businesses can serve up to 3 in-person customers at once and salvage some earnings at the tail end of a difficult year. No, and no. We do not have to sacrifice our small businesses. We can put more restriction on big box stores. We can tell them to shut down completely. Do you know why? They have billions of dollars they are hoarding at the top, and they are not taxed the way they should be. They are not at risk of shutting down. They will survive no matter what. And it's much harder to monitor people in big box stores to make sure mask wearing and distancing is taking place and to ensure proper sanitation of surfaces than it is for a small business. Big box stores staying open the way they are will lead to people dying. And Ford is perfectly okay with sacrificing our small businesses and people's lives because he is in the pockets of these corporations. The people pay the taxes, not the corporations. Therefore, the people should be the priority. His smug attitude, his policies, his complete lack of compassion and empathy, they all need to go. Conservative governments hurt everyone, not just non-conservatives. Sacrifices on this level are not needed. Ford can fix this now, and he's choosing not to. And for the people who are hurting because you miss the way of life you used to have, I get it. It's hard coping without the luxuries and the social interactions we are used to. But I'm here to talk straight to you. Religious gatherings, don't go. If your God can see you wherever you are, it shouldn't matter where you worship. And ask yourself, does your God want you to sacrifice your life or the life of others just so you can go to a specific location to worship? When this pandemic is over, you can go back and celebrate with everyone. Family gatherings? Don't go. I understand you miss your family, but by missing them now means seeing all of them at future gatherings. I understand the desire to give a gift to a loved one and seeing their face light up. But if that gift was at the cost of another's life, was it worth it? There are more ways to express your affection than through material goods. And if it really is that important to you to give that gift to that person, wait until this is over. A gift is special because of the thought behind it and the joy it brings, not because of the day it's given. And for people missing human contact, I can tell you, you can go years without a hug. It sucks, but you get through it. I know this from experience. When this is over, you can give extra hugs and be grateful the person you are hugging didn't die of COVID. This is a hard time for everyone, which is why it's so important to be kind and keep a compassionate mind. The more people wear masks and take precautions, the sooner we'll all get through this. Perspective and patience are needed. And if you need to vent your anger and protest, make sure you're targeting the right people for the right reasons. The government can give everyone a basic income until this pandemic is over. They can do rent relief for businesses and low-income people. They can make sure everyone has the food they need. They can see to it everyone is housed. They can do what it takes to make this time as short and painless as possible for the people suffering. They are making the choice not to. Contact your provincial member of parliament and remind them who pays for their job. If they want to be paid by corporations, they can go work for corporations. If they want to be paid by the people, they need to work for us. What we are going through now won't last forever. We can and we will get through this together. I'm sorry this video isn't as uplifting as I wanted. Such is life when you cover the news, and well, pandemics aren't happy things to talk about. So allow me to inject a couple tiny bits of lighter news. There is a lawyer named Sidney Powell, and she used to work for Trump, helping him with the swing states that were still recounting votes, trying to make arguments as to why they should go to Trump. But then she went on TV. She said some really stupid stuff. Now she's not his lawyer, or at least I don't think she's his lawyer. I don't know if they claim she never was their lawyer, even though she was clearly their lawyer. Anyway, here's one of the reasons why they probably wanted to get some distance from her.
This looks like the effort to carry out an end game in the effort against him. Do you concur?
Oh, absolutely. And it's been organized and conducted with the help of Silicon Valley people, the big tech companies, the social media companies, and even the media companies. And I'm going to release the Kraken.
Well, good.
Kraken, giant sea monster, swing states, on land. I can see where there's a flaw in her logic.
But he's beating Obama in swing states, which are the states that mattered for purposes of the election. So, no, I can't say that at all. I think it's a possibility. They're trying to look between you people. Don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me that way. Don't talk to. I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way. Right, I'm going to go with another question. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, that is me doing that, but he might as well be doing that because, my God, what a baby. Seriously, was that tiny desk the only one left over from all the other ones he's smeared fast food grease on? He's just making himself look so bad and so petty and so, well, I want to say tiny, but he can't look that tiny next to that tiny desk. So maybe that's why he had that tiny desk, to make him look big. I don't know. He's a baby and he needs to go. In the comments section below, please let me know what you have done to cope during this pandemic. I've started a YouTube channel. I also go on long power walks where I can just let my mind slip away into fantasy worlds. Ones where, like, this channel actually is successful. Yeah. If only that... You know what? You can help me make that more than just a fantasy. And you can do that by clicking buttons. I know, I hate always having to bug you for this in every video I do, but this is the best way for me to get noticed. If you click the like, click subscribe, share this, and if you want to help me out financially so I can get the equipment I need, you can become a Patreon. That is how you can actually give me money directly, and the link for that is in the description box below. Thank you for watching and stay tuned. I'm Sandy, wishing your tomorrow is better than your today.